Tantramar High and Riverview High as this rivalry matches up again, this time in flag football. We will not see the usual hard-hitting matchup we normally see between these two teams, but it's sure to be a good game here, and it looks like Riverview will kick off to start this matchup. Riverview Royals coming off a one-point win over Harrison Trumbull. Tantramar on the first time suffering their first loss in a couple seasons to Odyssey in a heartbreaker in week 1 on a final drive score by Odyssey. Tantramar brought it all the way back but ran out of time. Odyssey was able to kneel it out. Just awaiting the officials to whistle it in. Last minute adjustments being made by Tantramar coaches Ben Brown and Jock Emmel over there on the sideline. Clearly some confusion going on about something. Perhaps the refs messing actually. I only count 3 right now. Before we start, I'd like to say in advance we are higher up, however that will mean a little bit of a weird angle this game, but we try to get better every game, so we're higher up here, and it looks like they're about ready to go now. That was the timer they were waiting on, and Brett Curry will kick off. Curry the kick, and off we go. Back, looks like it'll be Hicks on the return, no off the hands of Weir. Weir picking up, approached by 2 Riverview players. Number 14, Nick Purdy in there on the flag grab. Weir looks like have about a 5-yard return. And Ben Weir on the other side of the kick for that attempt. Ben Weir, the Titans kicker in the first game. And this Tantramar offense will take over. I'd look here to see Tantramar try to come out booming. That was their struggle in the first game. They tried to run some jet sweeps early on and it cost them. I'd look to see Tantramar spread this offense out. They have some athletes. Here they come out, 2 receivers to the boundary to start. Parsons in the backfield and single back. Here. Estabrook takes the snap, hand off to Parsons, run their side. Parsons, quick little jig-jag. He's knocked over by Sam Melanson there. Throws both flags in, but he's down, and he should have a first down. As Tantramar moved the chains. Or the beanbags. I'm sorry. Tantramar moved the beanbags. So here we go, the second first down of the game. Carpenter and Cormier again to the boundary side. Monson playing slightly to the boundary at previous safety. Parsons to get on the run. Parsons breaking a couple flagpoles, and it's Melanson there. And I'd look for this Melanson kid on both sides of the ball right now. Arguably the best player in the province. He'll be key for Riverview in this game. Looks like Tantramar just shy of the first down on that one. No, sorry. Yep, just shy, I think. Of course, Tantramar can't run. Oh, maybe they can't. Yep, Cormier taking off, and looks like he had the first down. But there must have been a first down on that play before. Again, it's hard to see with the beanbags, but they shouldn't have been able to run. After with a rule change. Looks like they're measuring. And that'll be enough to move the beanbag for the Titans. Oh no. Okay, where's the second beanbag out there? Estabrook take the snap, hand off to Parsons up the middle again. Parsons quickly now. Tantramar trying to establish the run game they've had dominantly over the past seasons. Of course, this time they don't have the offensive line out there helping them out. It looks like that's a turnover on downs. As we see this Riverview offense for the first time. And I guess that brings us to your keys to the game tonight. For Tantramar first, they have to tighten up on defense. Defense was an issue, especially going down the stretch in the last game. Look to see Joe Carpenter in the matchup game. You can see him out there. He is starting. this game, as he will be key, which brings us to our key to the game for Riverview, which is give the ball to Samuel Melanson. 125 yards receiving in the first game. Quick slant there. Flag grab by Purdy. Nice little pickup for Oscar Mullen. But back to that, Sam Melanson, 125 yards receiving in the first game and a touchdown. I don't know if they're the DB in the province that can defend against this kid right now, but I'll tell you, if there is one, Tanchemar's got two of them. If there's anyone that can do it, Tanchemar's got two, and that's Joe Carpenter and Ethan Doherty. Look to see that matchup all game long. Taking a look here now, and don't see it here, as Melanson lined up against Schultz. The throw there just over the head of Ryan Carson. And that'll bring up a third down very quickly. A lot of changes for Tantramar on defense. You can see Carpenter rotating back. Looks like he was that corner on the last play. Played safety on the first. Tantramar coming in with a much wider defensive package in the first game. And it looks like Riverview will line up punt with Melanson back there to punt. Yes, this kid punts too. He does it all. Back, and it's Doherty back there to receive. And Doherty flag yanked out there by Isaac Mullen out around the 1. And this Tantramar offense takes back over. Tanchemar's offense yet to throw a pass. Much like last season at this point. So we'll see if they'll bake out the pass playbook here on this second set. You can see by the end there, Riverview is getting used to the up-the-middle run game using Parsons, the former offensive lineman. Two receivers again to the boundary. And Estabrook takes the snap. They will pass this time. Quick little dump off there. Checked it out to the center, Ben Weir. And his flag is snagged out there by number 25, Kyle LeBlanc. LeBlanc, former Moncton football, or Moncton Minor Football League Defensive Player of the Year in Bantam 2 years ago. And it's grade 11 season here with Riverview. Again, Tantramar coming out in the same formation as Estabrook takes the snap, drops back, looking for Cormier. Cormier across the front. He's getting the room for some yak. Flag still not out, and now it's picked up there by number 25, Brett Curry, or Kyle LeBlanc. Kyle LeBlanc. LeBlanc is the second flag grab of this game. And it looks like Tantramar is going to leave the offense out there on third down. Third and very short. Riverview not worried about a quick kick. Melanson still shallow. Estabrook to take the snap. Fake out the Parsons, jetting with the back. Cormier coming down the sideline. Cormier, he's got 2 plays for it. He's going to turn the corner. Melanson reaches for it. He doesn't have it. And it is Kyle LeBlanc with the grab. But Cormier picking up a first down. Tantramar to the 40. A very run-heavy offense for Tantramar to start this game. And it looks like they found their groove. Brooks take the snap, hand off to Parsons up the middle. He's got a bunch of traffic around him. Kyle LeBlanc snags it out. LeBlanc probably glad to be back to stuffing out the run after a pass-heavy first game. The natural linebacker doing what he does best, stuffing out runs. Tantramar this time coming out with 3 receivers to the boundary. And Estabrook takes the snap, looking to throw quickly to Carpenter. Joe Carpenter, he avoids the snag grab. LeBlanc there, he misses it. And it'll finally be number 6, Zachary Lithmore, over there as Carpenter picks up some yak. And Joe Carpenter, as much as Ethan Cormier is the leading target, Carpenter led the team in receiving in the first game for Tantramar. Carpenter has 6 receptions for 73 yards, 2 touchdowns. He also had a pick playing defense. As again, like I said, they'll look for him in that matchup game. Tantramar lining up first and 10. Parsons in the backfield again. Carpenter, the sole receiver to the boundary side. Fake handoff. Parsons has it now. No, Parsons, his flags are still in. And looks like a call, maybe a contact there. They blow the whistle, but his flags are still in. As it's Nick Purdy getting in there, making the stop. Again, a much different Riverview team than last year. Riverview last year, Nathan Trikes and Sam Melanson pretty much show much more balance this year. Of course, they'll still look heavily to Melanson, but they don't have that single-handed quarterback running game like they did last year. Trikes, of course, now at Mount A, lighting it up at DB in his first year. Estabrooks on the rollout. Looking for Parsons, little dump pass. Parsons switch towards the goal. Melanson's over there. He's pushing. Touchdown. No. They're saying he's down at the 1. Down at the 1, that'd be Brett Curry in there. And Tantramar threatening here early. Of course, though, now they cannot run, I do believe. I know they might have changed. Only run once in every 3 games, but I believe they cannot run still inside of the 5. Weir looks like on the 1 here in this goal line push. Tantramar coming in with 3 receivers to the field. Melanson coming up in coverage early on. Estabrooks with pressure from rolls out, throws, and that's broken up by Brett Curry. It was Nick Purdy in there on the pressure. And you saw that fake play. That's one thing teams can do. At first, it felt it was going to be a 2-yard for the rusher. They widened it out to 5, and that gave them flexibility now where you could have your halfback act like he's playing man coverage, zone coverage, then come in and blitz, have the free safety replace him, and that's what we saw there from Riverview early on. Here, Estabrooks take the snap on second down, looking for Carpenter. Almost picked by Brett Curry, and that's broken up. And decision time now for Ben Brown. Bit of a bad angle at Joe Carpenter, definitely the best kicker in this league. Looks like they're going to leave the offense on. I don't blame them after 1 game losing close. You kind of want to play the risk game. Of course, they've controlled Riverview's offense well in the first set. But of course, that deep ball to Melanson, always a threat. And they'll go for it here. Estabrooks takes the snap on third down. Estabrooks rolling out, looking for Carpenter. Touchdown, Tantramar. Joe Carpenter. And let me tell you, defensively and offensively, you want this kid should be rostered in all NBIAA fantasy leagues this weekend. Carpenter started off the game for touchdown, and Tantramar now on the convert. Curious, I believe I was told they cannot run on the convert, but not sure. If they can run on the convert, I'd go for the jet sweep here. Little pump fake to Carpenter, get Cormier out there, that's what I'd do. Tantramar now putting the 3 receivers to the field this time, including Joe Carpenter and Ethan Cormier. Estabrooks rolled out trying to avoid our footing. Dump pass to Ethan Cormier. Touchdown for the 2-point conversion. Or the 1 for it from the 5. And Tantramar was a 7-0 lead. You see Nick Purdy in there, and the pressure. Estabrooks just able to avoid him. And Jesse Estabrooks, questioning coming into this year, has very limited experience throwing the football due to a run-heavy offense last year. But one thing he could show he could do last year is run the football. The quarterback was involved in the run game and able to escape Nick Purdy there, and that's just proof of what he can do for this football team. And now Tantramar to kick off. Ben Weir stepping back up. Melanson and McMullen back to return. Or Mullen, sorry. Isaac Mullen was a key target in the championship game last year. Didn't have Melanson season-long stats, but he was still turned to in clutch moments. Sure, I'm sure Tantramar's game planned around do not kick the ball to Sam Melanson. And it looks like they've got it in there. That kick goes there to number 6, Zachary Lithmore. And his flag almost grabbed by Hicks, but not quite. He's spinning. He's still got it. And it's Doherty that finally gets the flag pulled out near the Tantramar 50. And Riverview will take over from there. Very smart for Tantramar there. Kick it short. Keep that ball out of the hands for Samuel Melanson. Again, Riverview, I'd expect to see at least 1 jump ball on this set going to Sam Melanson. He takes the snap, looking to throw to Melanson. Quick right there. Makes Schultz miss. Melanson, and it's eventually Purdy that grabs it, but he's got a first down. Going to Melanson in the short game quick. I know they're worried about that strong Tantramar pressure we saw last game. But I really feel the key to Riverview right here, throw those deep balls. Yeah, he might be able to pick up them yak quick, but I'm not sure. If there's DBs that have teeth to stop, Tantramar has definitely got him, but I'm not sure there is DBs to stop this kid right now. Dominique takes the snap. Melanson going deep there, rolled out to run it himself. Or also a little handoff, actually. And Finney grabbing the flag of Mullen. But Mullen picks up a first down, for sure. Again, Tantramar, that was their big struggle last year. Very emphasized in practice here. Pull the flag out. Working on those hands. Of course, the onus is on the offense to get out of the way. If the defensive player stands in the way of the offensive player, the offense has to get out of the way. So that there comes the key. You can go for him head on. If you go for him head on, he has to get out of your way, and you just have to keep your eye on the flag. Dominique waiting to snap from Nick Titus. A little bit high, jump pass. Evan Finney in there on the pressure. Throwing deep. That ball caught. Touchdown Riverview. That is Jaden Curry. And Riverview a convert away from tying this game. As time will run out here in the first quarter, we await the convert, and the convert will be the last play of the quarter. And Riverview will decide to move it up and just go for one. Dominique rolling out. Throw there to number 40, Ryan Carson, and Riverview is in to tie this ball game up. So Riverview 7, Tantramar 7, and in the first quarter, I think we got a dose of what we all expected. I did not see Riverview rely as heavily as Sam Melanson as I thought they would, but relying on that long ball there, as you saw that breakout pass. Tantramar using the run game, conserving the clock. We've just got to see more defense from Tantramar. And I expect you'll see it. I expect things will tighten up as we go on. So these teams will trade halves as we await the kick from Brett Curry. Check Carpenter and Hicks back there again. I expect the ball to be kept out of the hands of Joe Carpenter. Much as Tantramar trying to keep the ball in the hands of Sam Melanson. If there's one, it's hard without blocking to get a kick return and flag football. But if there's one kid in New Brunswick that I think can do it, it's Joe Carpenter. The kid has a nag for making people miss. Pure speedster. And of course, Carpenter understands what the defense is trying to do. A kicker himself. Here's Curry's kick. And the kick goes front line to Ethan Doherty, who has returned the last one. And Doherty able to plunge up almost to the 50, where Tantramar will start this drive. Tantramar not as being as generous as they were as last game with offensive playing time. We saw that rotation at X or W as some teams late, basically the inside receiver to the boundary. We saw a rotation there on the jet sweep, giving guys breaking up the jet sweep. Tantramar not doing that this game, as we've seen a pretty standard offense out there the entire time. Lining up this time with Parsons in the backfield. And the handoff goes to Conrad Allen outside. Allen, this kid's got wheels, but he'll plunge inside where Melanson grabs his flag. Conrad Allen missed the first game at hockey tryouts. The kid's not a one-sport athlete by any means. AAA hockey tryouts, played AAA major at Bantam, and now is trying to make a run for the midget team this year with questions as to what's going on with high school hockey. But boy, is this kid a natural athlete. Allen, a starter last year for the Titans in grade 10 at DB and receiver in the championship game. Estabrooks dropped the pass. Flick pass out to Weir, and his flag snatched out of there by Zachary Lismore. looks just shy of the first down. And Tantramar will bring the punting unit out. Again, watch this return here. If you're Tantramar, of course you always try to kick it to the boundary. But you want to keep it out of the hands of Melanson. Melanson and Mullen back there. Flags fly. Hands up, and I don't believe you're allowed to put your hands up when rushing the kicker. I may be wrong with that, but flags do play upon the field. Early indications are that it's against the Royals. And no, it looks like Tantramar is sending the defense out there. Maybe it was after the kick. We saw some displeasure from the Titan coaches at the officiating crew in the first game. Notice there is a whole new officiating crew here this week. Just some small things, like we thought a guy's flag without the one. Of course, it's harder to get a spot in flag football than real football, right? If you're trying to judge where a guy was standing, where he takes off, as to where tackle football, it's just where the guy's knee hit. That's a lot easier when you see a guy's knee hit and he's lying on the ground, sometimes with a 300-pound offensive lineman on top, or defensive lineman on top of him. Domney takes a snap, throw out to Melanson, and Doherty breaks that up. No, sorry, that throw not to Melanson. That throw was to Ryan Carson, but we do have a flag, maybe some early contact by Doherty there. I didn't tend to see that, but we will see. See Riverview. The quarterback running the plays and not signaling it. Tantramar, on the other hand, has been going with a no-huddle offense. Of course, no-huddle offense is probably much preferred by public health, and it allows for social distancing. Domney takes the snap, two receivers to the boundary. That throw, again for Carson, and Doherty grabs his flag out. Was the flag out early? I don't see a flag down, so they'll let it go. But Carson with the reception. And Domney rolled out, quick pressure by Finney, dump off pass to Sam Melanson. Melanson makes no miss. Sam Melanson right down the sideline, and Purdy has his flag. But a first down and the yak again by Melanson, using him very differently than he's traditionally used. Melanson's normally the jump ball guy. Again, probably the tallest player in this league right now. Strong vertical. Melanson, very interesting road. Almost played for Team MB twice. Injury problems big time. Would have been a starter on two Team New Brunswicks. Finally healthy this year, and the tournament got canceled because of COVID. I see the kid there on the cross with the throw going inside for Carson. Again, flags are out. Carson has it with both his flags out. Maybe an early flag nab there, as we didn't hear a whistle early on. Early indication that it's against the Titans, so maybe an early flag nab there, maybe some pass interference. We'll get this thing figured out. Again, Domney takes the snap, Finney on the pressure. Close call there, airing it out for Carson. Touchdown, Royals. And again, Riverview going to the long bomb to Carson. Ryan Carson, his second of the game. Her second long bomb reception, first touchdown. As Riverview takes the lead here halfway through this first quarter, or second quarter. And the ball passed out to Melanson, and Riverview has the conversion, and that there is what we're looking to see from Melanson. Going up for it and coming down with it. Tanchmer, maybe need to tighten up. You see Riverview moving Melanson around a little bit. You've seen him play the most. We've seen him play a little bit at the inside guy. Most teams label that there are. We've seen him play play out there at the W, which is where I expected to see him. But most of the time in that slot receiver labeled Y by most teams, or X, depending on whether it's to the field or the boundary. But he sure has. He's the type of player, even when he's not getting the ball, he's pulling eyes. He requires the most attention. And, of course, not the only talented receiver, Mullen. Mullen becoming a headache early for Tanchmer, as well as Carson coming up with those yards. So Tanchmer now will give this a whirl on offense. And the kickoff from Curry. Turned by Ben Weir again. Weir picking up a little bit of yardage there. He gets to the 40. And Tanchmer will take over. Chuck, this is the first game at Tanchmer for former Moncton High Purple Knights running back and defensive lineman Jacob Johnson. Johnson is grade 11 year coming over here to Tanchmer. Haven't seen him in the game yet. We'll look to see him tonight. Of course, the absolute man-child, a former player for two Team U16 Team MBs. A starter last year in Kingston, got hurt. Esterbrooks fakes one handoff. There's another Parsons up the middle. Picks up a couple yards for a snag that they would make a couple guys miss. It's Melanson that eventually gets it. Again, we talk about George Parsons, the former offensive lineman, and people might say, oh yeah, he got in shape, to play the flag. But that's not the case at all with this kid. Kid said last year at the end of the season, before coronavirus even existed, that he was playing H-back this year. And here he is out here lighting things up. Throw off to Carpenter, and that is going to fall in between his hands and incomplete. And that'll bring up third down. And another tough decision here for Tanchmer. And it looks like they're going to send the punt team out. Kick back. Melanson has his hands on it. And here we go. Of course, they cannot block. I was seeing there, Doherty has the flag. Again, Riverview, you can see, trying to squeeze over one way. Of course, that's not smart in this, because the rule is the offense has to get out of the way. The offense cannot set the screen like in some flag football leagues. Really all you're doing is taking away cutback lanes. Like, if there's one kid that can make 7 players miss on Riverview, Melanson's the guy, much like it is Carpenter for Tanchmer. And you see, when Carpenter has the ball, Tanchmer gets out of the way. They're not trying to take out the space that he could use for a cutback lane, because they know he's got a chance to turn this thing 110 and score 7 points. Domney now waiting the snap, 3 receivers to the boundary. Chuck on Melanson, he's out there playing that slot to the field side. And the flag comes out, taken by Schultz. That pass there was up the middle, number 58, Keegan Belmore. Belmore, one of 2 linemen taken by Riverview. The other one, of course, being former NBIA All-Star and 2-time Team MB player Nick Titus. Nick Titus, former Eastern Canadian Challenge All-Star. in his U16 year. Of course, he's not on the field now. It'll be Keegan Belmore, the grade 11. Belmore also one of only 2 grade 11s. Him and Nick Purdy, the only 2 grade 11s on this roster. Domney now looking to air this one out to Melanson. Picked off by Ethan Cormier. And he's got a shot. Cormier, he gets past Belmore. Cutting inside on McMullen. It's only Domney now. Cormier, he might take this thing. And touchdown, Ethan Cormier with the pick 6. And Melanson underthrown, and Cormier steps in, and Tanchmeyer's in the end zone. And you can see the applaud from the well-downgraded Titan crowd, of course. Used to being standing room only, and it still is standing room only, but not because it's sold out, because they took the bleachers away. With the 50-person limit this year, took the bleachers away to stop people from loitering. And Tanchmeyer will attempt their conversion. Tanchmeyer at the 5, so going for 1. Estabrooks takes the snap, rolling out, looking for Parson, and he's in. And Tanchmeyer has tied this football game at 14 apiece. So inside the 3-minute warning now, we'll see how Riverview, this is the first time seeing how Riverview manages their clock. Again, teams like to go to the pass game, the outside pass game, to manage their clock in traditional football. Well, Riverview sure does have 2 guys for that. Maybe even 3 now this game with the emergence of Carson. But we knew coming into the season that Melanson and Mullen, 2 of the top guys you want to go to when you're trying to get out of bounds and preserve a clock. So Melanson and Curry back to return. Weir the kick, low and along the ground, and that's going to go out of bounds and draw the flag. Fairly deep. We'll see. I think a kick that deep, Riverview might want to take it. Take it at the 45. Again, kickoff very different. You don't want to get it deep under these new flag football rules, of course. All this open space, you kick it deep, and there's a good chance the other team's going to turn 110 and score. You want to keep it shallow, keep it within the range of your guys. You don't want to give anybody time to think. Okay, now breaking the huddle, Melanson, the most outside guy, we'll see. Nope. Carson will head to the outside. Melanson playing on that slot receiver. There they come out. Domney looking for Melanson right off the bat. Flag put out by Schultz. Clock will run. Of course, inside 3 minutes, you gotta watch that. This here's maybe where I'd flip them. I want Melanson and Mullen to the outside. I want my guys that can step out of bounds, get me a stoppage of clock. But we'll see how Riverview decides to play this. And on the whistle now, the clock's running, whereas if Melanson would have stepped out of bounds, they'd still be preserving time. Of course, a short field, though. Tight at the snap. Back to Domney. Domney looking outside for Curry, and that falls incomplete. And a 3rd down coming up. Will be a 3rd and short. And the clock will run on the whistle, so maybe smart now. Look at Tanchmeyer. Might get another crack. Riverview will bring the punt game out. Now, if you're Tanchmeyer again, what do? Do you put Cormier as your wider on the other side, again, trying to get a balance? But of course, Tanchmeyer, that run game, that becomes hard to use when you're trying to conserve your clock like this. Now, of course, Tanchmeyer not used to fighting the clock much previously. As we've seen in past years them run the clock for an entire 3-minute drive and score, most famously against Leo Hayes. And Doherty, his flag came out early, thought he still had it. Snagged by Jaden Curry. And Tantramar will bring this offense out. So as we said before, Tantramar, they're used to running it, even when they're fighting the clock. We saw, it'll be 4 years ago now, 2016, the Aiden O'Neill 90-yard series to get the lead over Leo Hayes, or to extend the lead, knocked it out of reach. They'd kicked the field goal on the previous drive to go up. Estabrooks now taking the snap. Pressure from Nick Purdy. Throw it to Joe Carpenter. Caught and out of bounds. Calling out of bounds looked like he had a foot in from here. And that'll bring up second down. Again, maybe are they playing under American rules where it's flag? Is my question mark there? As we can see, maybe it's just the angle, of course, too. The ref does not have a vision up here. From up here, clearly looks. Carpenter had a foot in. Northern rules. That's a reception right there. But the clock does stop. See, and the refs now conferring, and maybe that is, of course, these refs, not all these refs with flag football theory. We don't have access to our entire pool of NBA refs. Some of these refs, minor football refs, and not everyone wants to CFL football. I know most people I know just stick to the NFL. That's an easy mistake to make. I could tell you right now, there's been times when I'm watching NFL, watching more CFL, when I start yelling at the TV because I thought a guy had a catch who I've got in fantasy, but he only had one foot in. That's just an easy mistake to make if you're an NFL guy. So maybe that's what the conferring is there. Did he have a foot in? Because from here you can clearly see Carpenter had 1 foot in bounds. Jock Gemmel. And the clear discuss. We mentioned last game, but of course, probably with new people. Jock Gemmel, former All-Canadian at Mount A, at DB. Gemmel showed up as a linebacker. He said right off the bat, defensive coordinator told him when he got here, he said, hey, when you graduate, you're going to be 200 pounds and All-Canadian at linebacker. Well, he said the guy was close. I was 160 pounds and All-Canadian at DB. Gemmel was a teacher at the school, computer science teacher and shop teacher. Taught a little bit of science last year as well. And now he finds himself replacing Peter Estabrooks, former Mount A defensive coordinator, on the tight staff. Estabrooks looking deep here, out to Ryan Cormier off the hand. And that was Lismore in coverage there, but Cormier had a step on him, and if he was caught, of course, Cormier, that was Ryan Cormier, not Ethan Cormier. Sure, that should specify. There are 2 Cormiers on the Tantramar roster. Cormier took a year off last year to play soccer, but he's back, and like we said last game, he is impressing this Titan coaching staff. Been a great check-down guy for them to turn to. So third down, inside 2 minutes, and Riverview potentially going to get another crack at this. Hand off to Cormier outside, cuts in, makes Melanson miss. And that is Kyle LeBlanc there grabbing the flag, but it looks like Cormier has the first down. And Parsons coming out and Allen coming in, but the rest of the Tantramar offense is staying on, and the beanbags are being moved. First down, Tantramar, they extend this drive. Allen back in, maybe looking to pass. Of course, Parsons been key to the run game, but if you want an athletic receiver who can get down inside and pick up some yak, it's Conrad Allen. Lined up those straight behind the quarterback in gun formation. And the snap goes to Conrad Allen inside, met quickly by Nick Purdy. Stuff him out there, and of course the pressure guy sometimes responsible for spying that backfield. And of course, as soon as Allen lines up like that, Riverview's thinking run against Tantramar. I remember Coach O'Neill, my grade 9 year, Scott O'Neill, best coach in New Brunswick history, obviously. Most people recognize that name. Telling this team a story, and he said that he's talking to Michael Bowen, another former All-Canadian at Mount A, talking about the toughest, what makes Laval so hard to play against, and he said it's the formations. Well, check down there to Weir, still has his flag in him, and he might have a first down there. He'll be just shy. But again, the conversation, he said he asked him, what makes Laval so hard to play against? And the answer was, Well, most people think it's how many plays they run, but they don't run any more plays than any other team in the country. It's that they run every play out of every formation. And of course, maybe that's what this flag team could work on. Because 4th and flag, you don't want to put a guy 12 yards away from the line of scrimmage behind the quarterback unless you have to. But sometimes you got to keep him guessing, as Purdy could tell what was going on there as soon as Tantramar lined up. So Estabrooks will take the snap. Purdy's pressure, he'll have to roll. Coming back the other way to the field. Estabrooks looking for either Cormier or Carpenter, kind of fell in between them, maybe just looking to get rid of that thing and avoid the sack. And it looks like Tantramar will send out the defense. Maybe the punt team. Not sure. No, it'll be the defense, and Riverview will take over. Of course, good decision by Estabrooks if that was 3rd down. Bomb that thing out. Worst case scenario, if they pick it, they're doing you a favor. If they pick that, you grab their flag right there. That works as a punt. So here we go. Riverview again trying to serve the clock. 1:12 on it. Melanson playing closer to the quarterback at that arm position. Flag out there. The ball goes deep. Cormier with another pick. Ethan Cormier. And Tantramar has the football. Just like that, the offense is back on the field. Ethan Cormier, his 2nd pick of the game. And this kid is putting together a campaign. Let me tell you, focused on offense, coming in one of the only offensive starters to also start on defense last game, as Tantramar wasn't quite as tight. And he sure proving why he should stay there this game. Was his 2nd interception of the night. Of course, Cormier now looks like he's off on defense. Maybe needs some oxygen after that one. And Estabrooks looking to pass out there to Carpenter. Carpenter looking to make Curry miss. Curry will get his flag out there. Of course, Carpenter going back, probably lost a couple there. And maybe that's, in this situation, normally Carpenter's the type of guy who I'd say go for it, try to break some ankles. But in this kitchen, clock conservation is key. Tantramar does not have time to nickel and dime down the field. You step out of bounds there and stop the clock. And of course now, precious time ticking away. But of course, Tantramar used to that hurry-up, no-huddle offense. Certainly wasting a lot less time than Riverview would have like that. And the dump pass to Allen. Allen's a guy who likes his yak. And Conrad Allen getting the 1st down with some yards after catch on that. And Cormier coming back in now. Allen coming off. Here, and Purdy shifting over. They'll look like Tantramar. Cormier, the lone receiver to the field. Nozoy Partridge will join him. Nozoy Carpenter over there in the field now too. I missed that. A little bit of waggle down motion as Carpenter slides inside. Little dump pass off to Weir. Weir, he's got room in the act. And his flag is pulled out by Zachary Zithorn. At 32 seconds left. And again, Tantramar not preserving the clock well, but getting lots of yak. That can help too. Yards after catch are key in situations like that, and they do have timeouts left as Ray Perkins will take one right now. Ray Perkins, of course, as many people know, worked in the CFL, the assistant equipment coordinator for the Ottawa Red Blacks, worked 2 seasons there while he got his Bachelor of Education degree online at St. FX. We went online first half of the year, second half of the year would go home, or go to St. FX and get it there. Came back, he's now a substitute teacher at Tantramar, had been the special teams coordinator under Scott O'Neill as head coach for the last 2 seasons. Was part of 2 championship teams there, also part of Team New Brunswick, the U16 team, in which he was the special teams coordinator. Then took over as assistant offensive coordinator last year, playing key in the designing of the Team NB run game in Kingston last year for the U18 squad. Perkins, an absolute football enthusiast, and one of the more dedicated coaches in this province here, giving his last instructions. Great with the pass game. One of the best pass game coordinators, definitely a help to Scott O'Neill. For Scott O'Neill, best coach in New Brunswick history, more of a run game coach. He never, last year, the first year, really or the year before that, excuse me, Perkins' first year that we passed much. And that was just that our quarterback didn't get bored. We still have the best run game in the province by far. Carpenter, that's over his head. But of course, Perkins key in designing all those pass plays, or almost. Last year, completely redid the read option game, which ended up being huge. O'Neill liked the way it was coached at Football Nebraska. Remember, Coach O'Neill, of course, very good coach at, wants to confer with his offensive line, his quarterback, his running back, the key players on his offense. And I can remember him saying, do you like what we did at Team New Brunswick? I said yes. Of course, Chase Clayton, our other star offensive line, another one of our star offensive linemen that year, said, well, I wasn't on Team New Brunswick, I was on Team Nova Scotia, but it looked good. And he said, okay, we're going to try to do that. But Perkins was the guy who designed all the read option passes off of it. Dump out to Carpenter, that's just out of his reach. So third down, let's see what Ray Perkins has up his sleeves here. Again, we just talked about how strong he is in the pass game. Estabrooks drops back, pressure from Curry, dump off to Weir, almost picked off. And that'll be a turnover on downs. So Riverview, 18 seconds, so not leaving them with much. Keep your eye right now on Melanson, Ed Mullen, and Carson. Do the 3 receiver shuffle. There's gonna be a jump ball thrown, and I'll tell you right now who I want it being thrown to. I'm sure we can all guess that, but of course you also gotta look at where's the coverage gonna be. Because Melanson's gonna be covered, The guy standing out there, the guy's not easy to not cover. You know that Doherty or Cormier or Carpenter is gonna be covering him. As we look inside, see Doherty over there, that side, Cormier right back there at safety. So anything long, Cormier's gonna pick up. So a little nickel down route, check down route to Lismore, and that's dropped, and the clock will run. See a couple changes on defense for Tantramar here going into this set. Evan Finney on the bench, Jack Arsenault in. Arsenault, the backup quarterback, has played a little bit on defense. Arsenault, the former starter for Team NB6 aside, at quarterback, coming in on defense. And he's in here at rusher right now. Of course, you don't normally think you see a guy that size playing what basically is D-line. And that ball's popped out by Estabrooks. And the flag pulled as the starting quarterback, coming in and playing both ways as well. And I guess that's one thing different. Normally the quarterback and the running back don't play both ways. Short and simple, you can't have your quarterback and your running back getting hurt. Unlike the offensive linemen, where the other center keep pieces to the offense, linemen, bigger, tougher, more of them. You normally only have one quarterback and a couple running backs. Any of them get hurt. Flag football, not so much. Flag football, it's kind of hard to get hurt out there playing flag football. So more of an opportunity for guys like Estabrooks to step up and be part of this defense. So 11 seconds left on the clock. Melanson, second receiver to the boundary. Little check down route there again to Melanson this time as he crosses in front of the formation, but his flag comes out. And again, smart play call. Get the stack over there. Get Tantramar to put the players over there, thinking he's a guard against Mullen and against Melanson. Then Melanson crosses the face of the play. And of course they'll punt here. Or is it a timeout? I can't see the point in punting. There's 2 seconds left. Any play will burn it up. So I guess you've got one shot. You got a double pass in you that, if not, I'm thinking it's just going to be a race between Melanson and the DB to the end zone. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand by at halftime. We have a highlight reel montage from last game. Only one Riverview player who sent, we asked them all for highlights. Only one was able to send them in, and that's Melanson. But we do have a bunch of Tantramar players sent us in their highlight montage, and that will be looped during your intermission. So stick around, and enjoy some good football. We will step away. We'll be back late before your intermission, but we will step away for a bit at first. So let's see. Melanson not lining up that wide out. He is on the slot. Guarded by Schultz. Cormier right behind him. Domine, the check down route thrown. Number 13. Quick lateral game, and Nick Titus can't cradle it, and that's the half. The big offensive lineman, star rugby player, used to making guys miss, can't cradle that pass. And that'll take us to the half at 14-14. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back with the second half shortly. And we're back. We're the kick. And it is to number 9. Or no, sorry. Number 6, Zach Lismore, and we are underway. And here we go. So second half tied at 14. And Riverview starts with the ball as we begin to decide this football game. Here we go. Check right off the bat. You can see Mullen Melanson to the same side. Drop back, throw to Melanson across the formation. Purdy misses. Schultz able to get his flag, but well upfield. Melanson, of course, been normally been your jump ball guy. Previous seasons showing you off his yak early this year. Especially with that one there, coming across the formation to pick up the first down. Tight is the snap to Dominique. Dominique rolling out to the boundary, looking for Melanson again. And it looks like Melanson has about 7. Riverview, first 2 passes of the game to Sam Melanson. Probably what his fantasy owners are looking to see. Dominique the pass. Mullen and Melanson a separate side to side, both on the slot. Throw outside to Carson, and his flag quickly snagged by Estabrooks. Sorry, that's Curry, not Carson. Pass outside to Curry. Estabrooks again to snag his flag. So first down for Riverview. Dominique takes a snap, bunches over there to the field. Melanson coming out of it. And that throw intended for Mullen hits him in the hand and falls to the ground. Fourth, Isaac Mullen, as we mentioned, huge strike for Riverview last year in the championship game. Dominique again takes a snap. Melanson breaks down, gets a quick slant. Schultz reaches in, has the flag. Short pickup. Again, I'd be looking to see if you can give Melanson a one-on-one over there. And Dominique takes the snap here. Finney showed pressure, then backed up. Throw to Melanson. Cormier and Estabrooks are both there. Purdy not too far behind. Sorry, that was Purdy instead of Cormier, and Carpenter not too far behind. Not much of a pickup. Again, Tangemar doing a good job keeping Melanson short. Don't let him run those jump balls. If you put them in a situation to throw a jump ball, it's going to go to Melanson and it's going to get caught. That has to be the moral for Jock Kemmel when he's calling this game. Keep them tight. Do not let them throw Sam Melanson. Of course, it's not all in the defensive coordinator. When you have defensive backs like Joe Carpenter, Ethan Doherty out there, it's not hard to keep a defense in those tight situations where they can't just air out the ball to the best receiver in New Brunswick. Finney in there, corner, back, sack. Evan Finney, just like that. And Evan Finney Looping out there, of course, that's not Evan Finney's most famous sack against Riverview, as Finney, huge sack on the game-clinching stop last year in the championship game. Domney here, the snap on third down. Looking quick to Melanson off the hands. Great coverage by Landon Schultz. And again, had to throw into traffic. Maybe that was second down, not third, my mistake. Again, it's hard to keep track with the beanbags. We can't really see the beanbags. We did request for 6, but the NBIA is saying no because of COVID. Some substitutions on defense for Tantramar is Braden Finney stepping in at rusher. Finney started at corner last game, for Tantramar, sliding over to rusher this game as he's in a rotation there as fourth rusher, by far the most gapping position on the team. This will be a punt as Melanson. Shallow little punt. Cormier on the return. Cormier makes Mullen miss and moves back in. Cormier coming on the outside, and it's Melanson, the punter, who grabs the flag. And if he wasn't able to get downfield, I think Cormier was about to turn 110. And Tantramar will take over. See what the adjustments were made at halftime by Tantramar offensive coordinator Ray Perkins. Perkins, in his first year, as the full offensive coordinator we previously mentioned. Brooks takes it, run up the middle of Parsons, quick spin move, flag snatched out by LeBlanc. So it'll be second and long for Tantramar here, deep within their own zone. Of course, Tantramar came in without a run up the middle. First time in Tantramar history has to be that we came in without that. Designed it after streak-wide offensive struggles. Fake handoff to Parsons outside Ethan Cormier. Cormier able to make Mullen miss. Although Cormier makes another man miss, and it's LeBlanc getting over and getting the flag. But it looks like Cormier will move the beanbags. Ethan Cormier, shifty little guy, making people miss. Of course, known as a power runner, he was in the huge Titan running back committee, as we saw so many people. Owen O'Neill, Colby Tower, Mason Prescott, Ethan Cormier, Elliot Hicks, all taking handoffs last year. Cormier, part of that, known more as a power runner. He was more the type of guy that was going to drop the shoulder, but of course that's illegal in flag football, as you may be able to guess. And Cormier is showing that off early on. Brooks takes the snap. Parsons, quick little shift, gets back on the check down route. Parsons makes Curry miss his flag. And it's Melanson that gets over there and snags it. Sam Melanson with another flagpole. As Melanson not only leading this offense, but this defense. And of course, we talk about Melanson on offense, but Sam Melanson going into his U16 year was a DB. Sam Melanson he would have started at Team New Brunswick at DB, flipping back and forth between that safety and that boundary corner position. But the guy got hurt his foot. Well, it ended up being 3.5 years just now as he's finally getting healthy. Had a setback going into Team MB last year, played last season at semi-health. Conrad out on the outside sweep, and Mullen in there and grabs the flag. Chase, we're glitching. Talk to Emma. Talk to Chase.
Thank you.
I apologize. We are having some technical difficulties. We've just been advised. We'll try to get this sorted out. Brooks takes the snap, rolled out, dump pass to Cormier. Melanson jetting over there and grabbing the flag. Got that fixed, Chase? rewind. We do apologize for the technical difficulties. We are currently have our technology crew trying to work this out. Estabrooks takes the snap to Allen right up the middle, and he's tackled by Clyde LeBlanc. Flags down potentially for the tackle. Again, the onus is on the offense to get out of the way if you're going head-to-head, but he had him by the leg there. That was a Gator roll tackle right there. And it looks like the penalty will be on Riverview. Yes, it will be, as the beanbags will move. And Tantramar will extend this drive. And Estabrooks takes the snap. Able to make Purdy miss. Estabrooks stepping up the pocket now. More pressure. Dump pass to Cormier. All kinds of room. And Melanson makes the catch. Or makes the flag snap. Now there is a flag down. Maybe taking too long. The quarterback does only have 7 seconds to grab the ball. And I believe our technical difficulties are sorted out. I do apologize for that. Again, we are doing the best with what we have. We were told by many people to make sure that we have an Ethernet cord when doing this, but 150 feet from the nearest Ethernet port, that just simply wasn't practical yet. We will announce, we are entering in a partnership with Mount A, with the Mount A radio station. We should have Ethernet next game, and we should be from the press box at the next home game, so fans can get excited for that. As we should have our technology issues worked through. So some confusion on the field now might be about the tackling penalty. As the beanbag is placed, and Tantramar will take over, first down and 10 for the Titans. Cormier, Parsons, sorry, lined up in the backfield. Two of these each side. Fake handoff. Estabrooks tends to look for Carpenter there. Estabrooks have to force back. Weir over there, and LeBlanc there uncovers. And a flag comes out. It's got to be PI. And LeBlanc not happy about it. Melanson has to drag him away. And LeBlanc talking to the ref right there. He's not happy about that one. Well, he had the chest in for sure. To me, it could have been momentum. Definitely, though. Definitely the contact was early. And of course, pass interference is going to be all that more strict in flag football. Because of course, they are allowed to hand fight in Canada. That being the key difference between the Canadian game and the American game. In the American game, until the ball comes in contact, there's not supposed to be any contact. In the Canadian game, they are allowed to go back and forth with the hands, but any contact to the arms, shoulders, or any other part of the body, even so much as the forearm, is a penalty. But you're given the hands and fingers to do what you want when going upfield with the guy. And the handoff to Cormier outside, able to make Purdy miss, but it's quickly snatched up by Curry. Cormier with the short pickup. Here's rewind inside the final minute of the third quarter. Had a beautiful night here at David A. Jardine Field. Estabrooks takes the snap, drops back, pressure, able to avoid the pressure again. Quick little slant down there to Cormier. Cormier in, able to make Mullen miss, but that flag is quickly snatched up by Curry again. Fourth. Now, of course, be sure there are two Currys. That was Jaden Curry. Just for those of you keeping score at home, I will try to clarify that in the future, as there are two Currys on this Riverview roster. So time runs out in the corner. Tantramar will run their last play. There's no wind for once on the marsh, so that won't have an effect As the fake handoff to Parsons. Estabrook rolls out, no flag there on the contact. Parsons gets the ball, a little check down route. He's still up. Parsons, he's going to score. Jory Parsons, and Curry, he misses. Jory Parsons is in the up zone, and Tantramar has the lead. Jory Parsons, can you believe this kid played O-line last season? And Tantramar coaches quickly to get their guys calmed down and go for the point after. Of course, it's not like usual. It's not like usual football where you just kick it and all you have to do is sit there and cut block a guy. You actually have to focus up and run a route now after you score. And okay, so here we go. Take a look. Tantramar with 3 receivers to the field. Estabrooks rolling out, looking for Carpenter, and that's out of his reach. So the score will remain Riverview 14, Tantramar 20, and we'll go to the 4th quarter. So here we go. Could you have drawn it up any better? Tantramar up by a score. It's a 1-possession ball game going into the 4th quarter. Riverview in the 3rd quarter finally picked it up and started to target Melanson heavily. So we'll look now to see if they continue with that in the 4th. Of course, we have not seen Melanson on a deep ball yet, which is what he tends to do best. That's what he did best all of last year when he was arguably the best receiver in the province in his grade 11 year. Jacob, and ladies and gentlemen, there he is. Jacob Johnson in his first field time as a Tantramar Titan. Wearing number 48. There he is. You can see the hair flowing. They call it him the man-child in minor football. He makes his Tantramar debut right now. Of course, Johnson, very good speed for his size. Like we mentioned, a running back. Played 3-tech in defensive end. He was an H-back fullback for those of you more familiar with the American term for Team NB. In his first year of U16, defensive line last year, and of course started a game in grade 9 for Moncton High. The interesting thing, the reason why he ended up at Tantramar, grade 10, Moncton High adopted the Bantam team. At first, he's told that they'll have tryouts. He'll be allowed to play varsity. Of course, he started a game in grade 9 for them. Then they're told when the numbers fall, sorry, you've got to come play Bantam, and a little bit of the politics there kind of caused some tension between him and the coach, and here he is in a Titan uniform, and Tantramar fans have got to love to see it. So here we go. We await the kickoff from Ben Weir. Here, maybe waiting on the officials to whistle something in. Officials over there talking at the sideline. Talking to Jory Parsons, maybe a little bit too close to the white line, of course. You know, where do you, in flag football as an official, where would, do you be more lenient where, you don't really need as much space on the sideline where it's on contact, really? Or do you try to enforce it? Of course, there's probably some refs being looser, which is why Parsons probably was drifting close to the white line. So good on the refs to not throw the flag and give the warning the first time. A lot of refs in this league like to throw the flag right off the bat. Kickoff out to number 25, Kyle Blanc. Easily surrounded by Titans and blown dead after numerous of hands were on his flags. So Johnson is coming off. He won't stay on. We will check though for him to be back in, most likely on offense. Or maybe at rusher. We'll keep our eye on that. But Titan fans get their first sense of what they've just acquired. So here we go. Domney takes the snap. Little bit of a 10-yard curlish to Melanson. And Riverview has the first down. Quick move the sticks. Point for the reception. Point for 10 yards and a point for the first down. There's 3 fantasy points for Sam Melanson. course, this kid probably the number 1 pick in any league. And here we go. Melanson lining up here at ours this time. A little bit of a shuffle out there. Snag out to him, and he drops the ball. Purdy in there in coverage, and Melanson can't come up to it. Melanson clearly frustrated, but of course, no better player I've ever played with at clearing his head. Melanson very good at doing that quickly. Unlike a lot of other players, such as myself, for those of you who know me, who I tend to dwell on my mistakes, unfortunately. Melanson good at clearing his head. Here is Will Look, probably going to be the target on this play too. We can see him back over to the field at Y. As Riverview goes 3x2 to the boundary. Domney shuffles, looking to throw. Vast Estabrook, Curry with it. Jaden Curry down the sideline, and Joe Carpenter has the flag. First down, Royals. Beanbags being tossed upfield, of course. Beanbags replacing the sticks this year. As the NJIA got rid of stick crews because of COVID. And Domney again, Arsenault quickly in there. A little check down to Curry this time. Purdy has the flag. Looks to be about a 5-yard pickup. So, some adjustments to Tantramar. Purdy slides over to field half. Finney in at rusher. Estabrook's up. Estabrook's up there too. Potentially. Finney in on the pressure. Domney drops the pass. Looking out for Mullen, and he can't squeeze it. And bounces off Mullen's chest. Third down. Coming up. Or is it second? Third or second? Again, we can't tell. There's no stick crew. I believe it's second. Sorry. And here we go. Domney takes the snap, throwing out, almost picked off by Ethan Doherty. As Doherty, the former Eastern Canadian Challenge All-Star, stepping up and making a play there, and it was third down as Tantramar is sending out the offense. And here we go. Tantramar a chance to make this a 2-possession game. Lining up, looks like Parsons out in their... Parsons shuffling into the backfield. As we take a look, nope, out in the receiving core. As Tantramar goes 3x2, Carpenter and Hicks, to the boundary. Hicks jetting across to be a jet sweep to Elliot Hicks. Elliot Hicks, he's going to make a man miss. Hicks coming inside, and his flag finally snagged by Kyle LeBlanc. Elliot Hicks has 5. Hicks into the ball game. Elliot Hicks would have been starting running back for sure with this has been contact football this year. Unfortunately, it's not. Hicks, your power type runner. Elliot Hicks, not the type of guy to run around, the type of guy to run through someone, but definitely adapting quickly as he picked up 5. We saw him in the first game get a couple carries, not as much in the first half, but ladies and gentlemen, after that run, you can tell Elliot Hicks is back. Still in here, he's looking for a reception right here. Again, he'd definitely be the guy to throw in there to get the matchup games mixed up. As he jets across there, gonna get another carry. Coming this side up the middle, Elliot Hicks, and his flag snagged out there by number 14, Nick Purdy. But Hicks able to pick up some more yardage. There is a flag down on the play, out to the far side. Potentially illegal contact, maybe. It wasn't a pass play, so not much time for the offense to speak illegal coverage. The flag is on Riverview. So we don't know what it is, perhaps offside, maybe legal contact with the refs. The refs aren't signaling it to us, unfortunately, this year. So we won't know until after the game. But there is a penalty on Riverview. You see anything? What was the call? Okay, sorry. Thought one of my technical advisors knew what it was because he started saying something, but I apologize for that, folks. And here we go. Estabrooks, hand off to Doherty this time. Doherty outside, he trips and falls. That'll be a huge loss on the play for Tantramar. Here, and we'll see what Ray Perkins has up his flag now on the up his sleeve now on this second and long. Seven minutes to go in the game here. Tantramar leads by 6. And here we go. Estabrooks takes the snap, fakes the hand off behind his back to Cormier. Estabrooks stepping up. Carpenter's deep. He has it. Ladies and gentlemen, Joe Carpenter down the sideline. His flag is pulled out by Kai LeBlanc. No, sorry. Not Kai LeBlanc. Brett Curry. But Tantramar has moved the ball big time downfield. Carpenter on the reception. And here we go, Tantramar. Tantramar threatening deep now. Snap back to Estabrooks. Cormier trying to get outside, avoids a couple defenders. And that'll bring up second down. Tantramar getting in deep. In Riverview territory, threatening now. Of course, you come to a point where you get too bunched up. It's hard to get a good play call off because you can't run inside 5. And eventually get too bumped up through any of your outbreaking stuff the DBs can play out, which is definitely different from flag football, whereas in contact football, you get that far, you're just going to run off inside zone a couple times. Which, of course, for Tantramar, that's what we do from any point of the field. But that being said, Estabrooks rolls out of the pocket, had Doherty in the end zone, missed him. Doherty throwing over the middle to Cormier, incomplete. Well, pass hit, it's deflected by Weir, sorry. And that'll bring up second down. Looks like Conrad Allen coming in on offense. We saw earlier, Allen came in at running back. Everyone knew what was going on. Perhaps Allen coming in at running back, and you throw a jump ball. Cormier coming out. Big surprise there for Tantramar to take off one of their leading receivers. Of course, Cormier in the first half had 2 receptions for 22 yards and 3 rushes for 34. Estabrooks rolling out, pressure, and we have a quarterback sack. Quarterback sack, Isaac Mullen. No, sorry, Zachary Westmore. And Riverview has just turned the ball over on downs. So Tantramar will Riverview force the turnover, and they'll have the ball deep. Tantramar unable to capitalize, had a chance to make this a 2-score game. So here we go. Dominique to take the snap. Mohanton and Mullen both to the same side over there on the boundary. Little check down route to the center. Keegan Belmore. Belmore getting upfield a little bit before his flag comes out. And the first reception of the game for the big man. So So second down and short for Riverview. Of course, we haven't seen much of a run game from Riverview yet. Of course, not contrary to normal years. Dominy rolls out, looking for Curry off his hands, incomplete, and that'll bring up third down. And decision time for Kevin Jones. You're at 3.5 minutes. You don't have much to go, but you've got a little bit. If you punt it, you might not get it back. But if you turn it over, Tantramar is going to score. Or will likely score. Tantramar would be inside the 30. Of course, then if Tantramar turns it over, though, you do have all kinds of time. It's hard for Tantramar to run it down. With that little space to work with. And it looks like the offense will stay on. Lots of noise from the Titans sideline. You can hear sled being yelled out. Of course, sled's been a common motivational key for this team over the past couple years, referencing the piece of equipment they normally use for conditioning. Of course, we're not allowed to this year because of COVID. But here we go. 3-minute warning is blown in as Dominy takes the snap. Dominy rolls out. Dominy looking for Melanson across the formation. Estabrooks is there. Probably good for the first. By the reaction of Riverview coach Kevin Jones, I'd say it is. Of course, Kevin Jones, head coach Riverview, offensive coordinator, and offensive lineman. As the offensive coordinator for the Royals, his first year was last year. He stepped into the offensive coordinator. This year's his first year as head coach. Jones, the former player and coach at Mount Allison University, played there during his undergraduate. Went away for 2 years, got his bachelor in education. Now he started his substitute teaching years, coached at Mount A for 5 more. Was given a full-time job at Riverview last year, or 2 years ago, excuse me, and took over there and started coaching, and he did great work with that Riverview offensive line. Riverview coming out in a complete spread, 3-by-3. Melanson, the second receiver, to the boundary side. We'll check down route to the center, and Finney there. Kind of like a quarters type offense, as the center was evenly spaced from the next receiver over, and so far right across the board. Odd formation indeed, but it works as they get a reception in the hands of center number 58, Keegan Belmore. Belmore, the snap up high. Dominy rolls out, looking deep. He's got Curry deep, Carpenter there, and it's caught. Curry breaking out, Carpenter and him, Carpenter falls down. Estabrook coming there, he missed the flag. Doherty diving, and number 22, Brett Curry, is in for the touchdown. Pass intended for Jaden Curry, off his hand, into the hands of Brett Curry, and once again, Tantramar finds themselves tied late in the ball game with a convert to go up pending. What an amazing heads-up play for Brett Curry. Off the hands of one Curry and into another. And here we go. Big play now here for Tantramar. We saw last week that late Odyssey touchdown. Rolling out, looking deep for Curry off his hand, and the ball game stays tied. I'm sorry for if there the audio cut out. Apparently I unplugged my headset by accident by walking around. I do apologize to the viewers. Boy, it's rough on a roof. It's hard to sit down. If we sit down, we'll probably fall off. So we're standing. And here we go. Tantramar will be kicked off to in a tie game. And just like last game, a chance for Jesse Estabrook to channel his inner Ricky Ray and put together a game-winning try. Jacob Johnson back out there for Tantramar as one of two people in the front row. Tantramar giving Riverview lots of space. Of course, onside kicks are not legal in flag football, so there's really no sense in not backing up. Kick will go to Arsenault. Fumbles the return, and that'll be blown dead around the 35. So Tantramar to take over on offense. So hold on to your hats, because here we go. Tantramar looking to put together a game-winning drive. Riverview, a defensive stop to get the ball back. Either way, this thing's going to be a wild ending. Here we go, confusion for Riverview to start on defense. Riverview still approaching as Estabrook's rolled out. Quick little dump pass to Cormier. Cormier trying to fight through LeBlanc. Flag comes down on the play. Potentially Cormier getting a little bit handy there. We'll wait. And Dory, I've just been corrected. I thought Coach Jones played at Mount Aiken. I was told that's how he got into coaching there. Of course, that would be from my way younger days. I've just been corrected. He played at SMU. So played at SMU and ended up coaching at Mount A. I apologize. Estabrooks rolling out, able to avoid a sack there. Looking deep, no, just to check down to Purdy. Purdy with all kinds of space, and it'll be number 40, Ryan Carson, grabbing the flag, but Purdy with a big pickup. They're in the flag down. And you can see Estabrooks with hands on his head, but I'd say it's against Tantramar. Maybe taking too long, potentially. As again, there is a 7-second rule.
Joyce has screen.
So the penalty is against the Titans. So it'll be a second and long. Estabrooks dropping back. Pressure again, avoids another. No, his knee touches the ground. And a quarterback sack will be credit to Lismore. So, I think that was repeat first down, sorry, not second down. So this will be second and long. A huge reception by Purdy, called back. And Estabrooks dropping back. Again, look for one flag. Check down over to Doherty. Ethan Doherty. He's going to pick the first down then some. Doherty flying down. To be Doherty versus Melanson. Melanson diving for the flag and gets it. Diving tackle for Sam Melanson. But a huge pickup by Ethan Doherty. And Tantramar has just killed off that penalty. As Silent touches over in secondary cheer, Tantramar. A minute 30 left. So there could be time for Riverview to get a possession. Even after, of course, Tantramar just passed now at the 40. They're just past half here. So here we go. First and 10, 3 receivers to the field. 2 to the boundary. The 2 to the boundary are Carpenter and Cormier. Cormier on the jet sweep. Lots of traffic over there. His flag will come out quickly, snagged by LeBlanc. Short pickup on the play. But again, that motion over there, maybe tighten up that Riverview defense and open up some options for Ray Perkins this next offensive play. The clock will run once the ball is set. Whether that's good or bad for Tantramar, we'll find out at the end of this drive. And here we go. Estabrooks can take the snap. One receiver to the field. It's Joe Carpenter. Matched up against... Hand off to Ethan Cormier on the jet sweep. Cormier at the second carry in the row. Looks like he's close to the first down. Of course, Carpenter lined up one-on-one with Carson on that play. And it looked like it is third down. Third and just a couple feet for Tantramar. And Riverview calls timeout. Trying to preserve the clock here. We'll see. What can Ray Perkins come up with? Of course, the quarterback cannot run. That's one thing to keep in mind. Here. So here we go. 1 minute and 2 seconds remaining on the game clock. Estabrooks take the snap. Tantramar just shy of a first down. On third down, though. And here we go. Double fake handoff, Estabrooks looking deep for Carpenter. Joe Carpenter, touchdown Tantramar! And Tantramar has the lead with 1 minute to go. And just like that, pending a convert now here. Tantramar. Now here comes question time. If you go for 2, you know they're only going for 1. Of course, you can go from the 10 for 2 or the 5 for 1. If you go for 2, you know they're going to go for 1 if they get the touchdown. However, you then have to start asking yourself, with Riverview's offense, are they any more likely to make it from 10 than from 5? Myself, I'm the most aggressive guy there is. I'm saying you're going for 2. Even with the normal kick for a field goal, I'm going for 2 most of the time. With Riverview, I don't know. Especially in this format, because Riverview's the type of team that Riverview is just as likely to get it from the 10 at the 5. So we'll see what Coach Perkins comes up with here. As Tantramar will head out for the convert. Ball is placed at the 5. But of course, they can move it. Looks like they will go for 1. Smart decision here. And here we go. 3 Parsons in the backfield. No, Parsons sliding out now to the receiver position. 3 by 2. 2 receivers to the boundaries with receiver the Cormier and Carpenter. Carpenter open. Estabrooks looking down in the end zone through the hands of Doherty, incomplete. And this will remain a 6-point game. So now Riverview a chance to put together a game-winning score and convert for the win. Of course, they'll have to be quick. 49 seconds, but with a quarterback with an arm like Dominique and players who can jump ball like Mullen, Carson, and most of all Melanson, you're never out of any football game. And here we go. So we're to kick off. Melanson back there to return. So is Curry. That's Jaden Curry. Again, Tantramar likely to try to keep the ball in the second row. That's what they'll do. It goes out on the corner. It'll be Kyle Ball. No, so it'll be the big man, Belmore, picking it up. And Belmore picking up a couple yards. Ball swapped around the course. Each team used their own ball, right? So Tantramar just kicked using a Tantramar ball. Now Riverview is coming back out with the Riverview ball. Of course, that's not normally the case in high school football. Normally there's one official game ball. However, COVID changed a lot of stuff. So here we go. Take a look at any formation swap. We have Melanson lining up at Y, at X or W, depending on how your team labels it. Belmore dropping the pass. Pass goes to Belmore. We had Domini dropping the pass. Goes out to Belmore. Goes Titus, my mistake. First down. Had Belmore in my mind when I started that play. Started to get the players mixed up. 34 seconds to go. So Tantramar doing a good job keeping that clock running. But Titus doing a good job to getting out. And good job at offensive linemen. A lot of offensive linemen don't know those rules. Of course, if you're an offensive lineman in this play, you're thinking two things. Protect the quarterback, run block when necessary. You're not thinking about the rules on the clock like the receivers are. So unless you're a big watching football high IQ guy, you're not going to know that stuff, and Titus able to pick up on it. Dominique dropping the pass, now looking ahead for number 14, Nick Purdy, and his flag taken out by Jake Purdy. First down, Riverview. Of course, a couple Tantramar. Gemmel wanting a flag on that one. You can see the confrontation between him and the ref. But that will be Riverview first down deep. 23 seconds to go. Ben Brown trying to get some communication into Evan Finney. Of course, Riverview probably now is in Melanson jump ball range for Domini's arm. Checking on Melanson right now. He's over to the boundary again at that X spot or W, depending on how you label it. Domini dropping the pass. Out to, and that one's going to be dropped by Ryan Carson. $14 seconds to go. So here we go. Titus will snap. Domini will receive. Checking Mullen and Melanson. They're on opposite sides of the field. Domini rolling out, looking for Melanson. Purdy going for the ball. Doesn't miss the flag. Heck, look here. Estabrooks will run him out of bounds. But a first down, and they'll stop the clock. 5 seconds to go. Likely the last play of the game. We're going to the end zone. We probably know who the target's going to be. No changes for Tantramar on defense. Not putting any receivers out there for the jump ball. Of course, you know it's likely going to Melanson, or it's likely going to Melanson or Mullen. Now, they both have been good at getting yak this game. If Tantramar spreads it back, you likely have them come in and throw a nice little soft one to them, and they try to get in the end zone. That's obvious. If they get there, Sam Melanson on a jump ball. You've got to have Estabrook back there at free safety. He's the only person, or Cormier, there really provide that height that can match up against Melanson's height and Melanson's insane vertical. So timeout Riverview. Let's see what they can draw up as the tension builds here at David A. Jardine Field. And here we go. It all comes down to this. Riverview to snap from the 22-yard line. Titus at center. Bunches to the boundary. It's Melanson one-on-one with Doherty. They're going to go to the field. Pass for Carson out of his reach, and Tantramar has won. Ball game. And the Tantramar Titans have came up with their first win of the season with the defeat of rival Riverview Royals. Ladies and gentlemen. And that's going to do it. Ladies and gentlemen, in the Titans' first win of the season from David A. Jardine Field,